Since I've changed to the agency, my business has changed a little bit. I'd heard of Realtair. I've been given it as a tool to use. And now that I've got it, I'm embracing it and going, wow, why didn't I pick that up a year or 2 or 3 or 4 ago? I've always been a great believer in trying to have one single point of truth within my systems, from my CRM to any other programs and apps I use outside of that, trying to correlate it all together so that I'm not jumping from A to B to C to D to get information, because the more sources you've got, the more chance for human error. If you can minimize that by systemizing yourself, that's so much better. Realtair does integrate with Agent Box so well, and it's just really helping me solidify that single point of truth. Everything's in one place. It literally takes you on the journey from the very first moment to settlement. And to me, why would you go and use 3 or 4 tools when you've got one? It just doesn't make sense. One of the things I'm really proud of, I feel I'm a really, really good negotiator. So I don't ever want these tools to replace me. What I want them to do is make my job quicker, easier, and make the seller's ability to get that information faster. That's really how I see the benefit. The relationship will always be the key factor in every part of real estate. And, I see agents running around getting petrified by AI. Yes, it will impact our business. If you're not using it, you will be left behind, but it will never replace us, because our business is so relationship based. Whether you're talking to a buyer or a seller, it's irrelevant. They want to know that you care about them. They can trust you. The information they've maybe sourced is verified with maybe that little twist of local knowledge that the stats will never tell you. How does our market in Hervey Bay correlate with Maryborough down the road, and then Brisbane so far away, 3.5, 4 hours away? So it's those little bits of local knowledge that builds that trust and builds that relationship. Ultimately, I don't want to speak to real estate agents. If there's any part of the process that can be automated to negate the need to talk to an agent, they'll use it. And as they learn, it's there, of course. So it's an education process for the buyers as well, that this process is there. One of my favorite things is the ability to have that button on realestate.com where they can make an offer. I love that. To me, that makes a lot of sense. They might not want to speak to the agent because they don't want to be harassed. They might not want to speak to the agent because it's 10 o'clock at night and they don't want to interrupt them. Whatever the reason is, that button helps a lot, because they don't need to contact us anymore. I love the fact it's there, and I can say to people, just jump onto realestate.com and make an offer, and then we'll follow that process through. I actually had this conversation the other day with someone, and it freaked me out. The amount of times I have called a buyer after an open home who I've had no contact with. They haven't called me. They've shown almost zero interest in the property, and I've just given them that follow-up, talk to them, and they've ended up making an offer and buying the house. It makes me wonder, would you have bought the house if I hadn't made that telephone call? Well, this button doesn't replace that call, but it makes it easier, because now they don't need to talk to me. They can go, we really did like that home. Let's just make an offer. And they can do that through this system, which I love. The customer's needs don't change. They still want to be serviced correctly. They still want the right information. They're probably getting more statistically driven. I've found in the last probably 5-10 years, it's a big part of their decision-making process to know what's going on around them. But I think that's probably just due to the amount of information that's now out there, which never used to be before. We were the purveyors of all of that information before, and now they can get it from anywhere. A market update for their suburb told them that they were now going to get one every 6 months, concreting and solidifying that relationship and proving to those people that I'm there for them. I've got their back, and if they need anything, they can give me a call. My way of working out how to use it was to go into every appraisal I'd done in the last 12, 18 months, give them a call, tell them that I now had this automated system. I'm definitely seeing interaction with them, people picking them up and reading them. Obviously, the tools in the back end are great, because you can see what pages they're looking at, how long they're looking at them for. That's really, really helpful, because then I can initiate the conversation around those points. That's a massive benefit. I didn't have anything like that, except for obviously tasks and reminders, which human beings can be ignored or forgotten or missed. So just having it come up there and be done for you is perfect. It's so easy to use, you can't really go wrong. Just get on with it and do it.